You know, I could tell you a lot of very beautiful generalities about this country and this fabulous trip, but I'd like to tell you some specific things. In particular, I'd like to tell you why I went on this trip, which is probably not the same answer as anyone else would give. I'm writing a history of food, and I'm working on a history of rhubarb. So I'm not sure if anyone else on our group has come to visit Mongolia to look at the beautiful wild rhubarb. But that was my initial desire, to see rhubarb and write a book on it. But it's turned out to be so much more. There's so much more interesting life and culture in this country besides the food culture. And I'd like everyone to think about the food culture especially is interesting, because we tend to think that it's going to be all meat and, you know, nothing much that we have to think about. And there's a really beautiful traditions of food. Starting from one of the ones I learned just doing my Google search on what to look for here, and that's I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly, the sasal, this beautiful spoon that they use as a way of sending people off on a journey. And I was able to see that very early on in this trip. You know, and everything I asked for in this trip, the things I'd hoped to see, the things that I'd researched and hoped that I'd get a chance to see, our tour director was able to produce and find examples for me, and that's not something you always get on a trip, on an organized trip. So I'd also say, as you're planning a trip, do a little of your own homework, and then you're going to have a better chance to see the things like this beautiful carved spoon that's part of the tradition. Even the name of the travel agency had meaning that I hadn't understood and really hadn't paid attention to, so I learned that. So the idea of being a traveler on this kind of a journey in this amazing country with so many things that we don't know about already, we don't have an idea of what we want. It's important to do your homework, and then you'll get more out of the trip. And use the guides that are provided, ask them questions, and you'll learn things that you hadn't expected to. We have food traditions, we have traditions of the festival. That's another thing. I have lots of friends that have traveled a lot, and I would say think about traveling to a country when they're having their own celebration, not just the general celebration for the tourists, but a celebration that's meaningful to the people in the country. And then you want to have a tour director and a company that can create that experience for you and help you be part of this celebration. So in this case, it was the Nadam celebration. So we got a chance to really understand the background of the celebration, which we wouldn't have done if we just read it in a book. And so you want to plan around those kind of things, and it takes a little more time and energy, and it takes some research into tour companies to see which ones are willing to do that kind of thing for you. Find these locations, find the experiences so you don't miss something. You know, I have friends that wouldn't dare go to a country when there's a celebration because that's more trouble, it's more crowded. Personally, I think that's a really important thing to do. Try to have an experience that the people themselves in that country are having, and then share it with them. Go to a country during New Year's, or go to a country during a big religious festival, and you'll learn so much more about that, what people enjoy, what they love, what they really want to have you know about them. I love that part of this trip. It was important to me to be here during the celebration. And it was very, very well organized, so we got a chance to very much enjoy this celebration. It was a very different kind of trip for me. Most of the time we travel on our own, but this was a place that we really knew that we needed help. We needed really good guidance, and we did our research and found that Blue Silk Travel was going to provide the best possible experience for us. And I hope that other people will follow and enjoy the same experience that we had. Thank you again.